I do just want to say briefly, I want to thank everyone for having a discussion in a professional manner and following our city guidelines, and it's the way dialogue should happen, even from our visitors who are with us, a couple dozen probably earlier, and now maybe watching the meeting from home. Something else I do want to say, I was actually asked a couple weeks ago, I'll only be your mayor for another 4 or 5 months. And so I get a lot of these reflective questions, and someone asked me what was my favorite thing that's happened since I've been mayor. And I thought about it, first comes to mind, you think about the big projects or the big wins or the big titles. And my answer to the question was the work that has happened on our cultural committee here in the city of Frisco. Back in 2017, we were starting to see that Frisco was becoming much more diverse. A growing Indian population, a lot of different populations. And we had people within our city like Chief Darren Stevens who took upon the mission that we want to reach all 4 corners of this community and know every single resident by their need. If we steal the FISD slogan, know them by name and need. And so we tried to decide how are we going to do that. And this was at a time when it was becoming unpopular to even say Merry Christmas. And so as a council, we made a decision and said, we're going to be proud to say Merry Christmas. We're going to light the biggest tree we can find in Simpson Plaza and celebrate Christmas. We're going to go get a big blowtorch and light a menorah candle in Simpson Plaza as well. That's probably my favorite event, other than when we started doing Holy. And then we could pelt council members with colorful things, and it became socially acceptable. Angelia led our MLK Day celebration, which now lives on past her, and it started the city's first MLK celebration. This Saturday, my wife and these lovely council ladies will be dressing up and walking down the runway in our Asian Lunar New Year Festival, which first started just a couple of years ago. We've had community conversations when there was Stop Asian Hate back during COVID. And many other different community conversations that have happened along the way. And the mission started with just wanting people to love thy neighbor. And that's kind of every city's mission, and very few people actually accomplish it. And so what we set out to do was, we wanted to go beyond that, and we wanted residents to start being curious about thy neighbor. And over time, what we saw is when we had an MLK celebration, it wasn't just African Americans there. When we celebrated Holi or Ramadan, it wasn't just Indian Americans there. People wanted to start understanding each other. And that's created a really, really powerful community. The work is never done. Every community member won't buy into it, but I think what is happening here is special. And so everyone in Frisco, other than a few handful of native Frisconians, there aren't many, every one of us else is from somewhere else. And when you choose to call Frisco home and say this is going to be your home, it will always be our mission that you feel welcome here and you feel safe here. And I hope that's a tradition that outlives long past my mayorship, and I hope that's something we continue to lean in, hand as a community. So thank you. Thank you. Excuse me, sir. If you can't be quiet, then we're going to have to ask you to leave. Item 37 is city council discussion with city staff concerning any actions